Hello and welcome back to The Weekend. If you are new to the channel, please kindly subscribe. LA premier pundit of President Cyril Ramaphosa organization, Mzwanele Manyi, has expressed that there isn't anything more awful than an administration that thinks it is ruling over idiots, uncovering that South Africans are not fools. He said that the public authority broadened the established well-being alteration, despite the fact that individuals have altogether declined it. He said that the augmentation put by the public authority is to empower them to persuade individuals, uncovering that it won't work out. Reviewed that there were an eruption of outrage and dissatisfaction in regards to a proposed revision of a well-being bill or regulation, when that's what certain individuals said. Assuming the law is passed or corrected, the public authority will have the outright ability to inoculate everybody regardless of their assent. Via web-based entertainment, many individuals were battling against the proposed correction. Rather than stopping the revision, the public authority prolonged or stretched out it to empower it to persuade individuals. Mr. Mzwanele Manyi, who in the past has condemned a large portion of President Cyril Ramaphosa's approaches, noticed that nothing is more awful than a gov that thinks it is administering over morons. There are overpowering entries to dismiss the illegal alterations of health reg. Rather than tolerating the dismissal, Govt has stretched out the cutoff time to give themselves more opportunity to convince us. No will be no. Mzwanele Manyi, who is a dear companion and supporter of the beset previous president, Jacob Zuma, doesn't tumble to voice out his dissatisfaction against this organization. He was cited as saying that the amended health regulations should be rejected altogether. The Disaster Management Act is there in the event of any pandemic. We feel it would be much improved not to be controlled and constantly fussed over by government, particularly this bumbling one. Mr. Mzwanele Manyi has additionally stood up against COVID-19 vaccine, however only occasionally gives justifications for why he have no faith in the antibody. To add, a few South African residents are simply watching, as though they were seeing South African Foundation being annihilated consistently by unlawful migrants. The nation is nearly a delayed bomb. In South Africa, somewhat more than 1 million births are enrolled every year. Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi gauges that 600,000 of these delightful babies were conveyed to unfamiliar mothers. A little over half of South African ladies who conceive an offspring in clinics are the posterity of unfamiliar settlers, as per a previous clergyman of Home Issues. 60% of ladies conceiving an offspring in South African clinics are far-off nationals, for the most part from Zimbabwe, and in some cases eluded by Zimbabwe specialists who request that South Africa help in light of lacking offices in their country. South African specialists, as per Motsoaledi, need to make a solemn vow called the Hippocratic Oath. Far-off nationals and unapproved foreigners make up 60% of those living in casual settlements. Such a huge interest on the South African income base, can one it be supported endlessly? Be it in the fields of medication, training, water, streets, energy, power, or policing. To put it another way, South African frameworks are ill-fated to flop later on years. Unfamiliar nationals represent 60% of all South African work-ward assets. Notwithstanding the way that South African understudies should cross waterways consistently to get to school, pit latrines stay in schools in the country. Those healthy self-appreciation abhorring are known as self-loathing. Simply stroll into a South African general well-being office and you'll see the way numerous illicit outsiders are utilizing the country's medical services. The ANC government in South Africa and President Cyril Ramaphosa have paid attention to the nation's residents' interest to activity to resolve the critical issues of unlawful migration, refuge searcher abuse, and permeable lines. Due of South Africa's progressive end. A portion of the outsiders are here on awards, just like with a significant number of them. For their purposes, having South African citizenship and being qualified for government presence remain inseparable. There are plans for future invasion. Hope you enjoy the video and please don't forget to like, subscribe and